And I'm just wondering, is it when you smoke marijuana or you eat marijuana, for instance, is that directly combining, or is that more of a superficial kind of action?
I'm really not sure how to answer it. You're probably more up on the hypothalamus and its functions than I am. It's really my bachelor's degree that I was last looking at the hypothalamus. Like I say, I would love to see more data on how it affects the endocrine systems. Mark Ware, who does pain studies on cannabis at University of Toronto, has just released a paper, whether it's actually published yet or not, I don't know, but it is on how long-term cannabis use affects many different systems, respiratory, digestive, reproductive is included in this. So he's got data on how it'll affect testosterone and testosterone, as I say here, and estrogen levels. But he was only giving 1.8 grams a day to these people. And I believe it was smoked, and that's not enough THC. That's not, in my mind, it's not enough to have an effect. We have people taking 500 milligrams of THC a day. That's the THC molecule they're taking per day, orally. And that will have an effect on endocrine.
So your answer is more research needed.
I hate to say that, but we've just scratched the surface.
I agree with you too.
We've just scratched the surface. Yeah.
Is there a list of the over 400 or about 400 properties that are in a cannabis plant? I know it varies from strain to strain, but like, is there some kind of a list, sort of like a chronology of
There may be. You're talking about 450 different compounds in a cannabis plant. Yeah, they're about the same in tobacco as well. It's sort of plant chemistry.
what's the actual list?
I don't know if you might find a list somewhere. It's the day of the internet, right? You might get lucky.
One other question to that is, like, I know there's more than just cannabinoids, right? There's flavonoids and terpenes as well. And I heard you say before, it's like, it's like cannabinoids are probably only found in cannabis, right? Versus other food groups have flavonoids and terpenes. Can you say what other food groups, would have like flavonoids and terpenes, like that are similar to like what are in cannabis? Hops.
I was once asked to look for THC in hops, sent up by the grandson of Dr. Bronner's Magic Soap, made in California, I believe, and his grandson was looking for any sort of cannabinoid traces in hops because he wanted to say he was putting hemp into his soap, and the DEA was coming down on him. He wanted to say there's THC in beer. So what's the problem? We couldn't find any THC in his hops, but then I was told later that it depends on the time of year. But THC is present in small amounts in hops. As for flavonoids and terpenes, indeed those are antioxidant and anti-cancer like phytochemicals. And I think I've told the story in an earlier lecture of the bald and hairy prep that I made. I extracted cannabinoids from a particular strain of cannabis. I extracted the THC into one fraction. It was pure THC. Then I had another fraction that had all the other cannabinoids and terpenes and the same amount of THC. My body is my laboratory. I ingested the THC only prep, and it was boring. To say the least, it did very little. I'm not in chronic pain, so I don't know if it helped pain, but I didn't really get much effect from it. I ingested
Yay. Thank you so much to all our technicians. It's been a cumulative effort, but the show's on, Paul. Good. Cool.
Can I get at my computer?
I don't
Cords aren't
know
long
if it
enough.
can be farther away, so you may have to sit closer to it.
We're gonna do that.
When you
Or
guys
you
wanna
could
come sit back
have, I
over
could
here.
sit here and just click when you want.
Yeah. That's a nice white background for the cameraman. I heard you last time. Remember I had that leaf background and you said it didn't work?
Sorry, Dr. Harvey, you were just finishing with your last point. One ingestion was just THC.
Yeah, the bald and the hairy prep.
That's right.
The bald prep just had THC.
Okay, guys.
The bald prep was THC, the hairy prep had THC plus terpenes and other compounds from the plant. Both had equal amounts of THC. The bald prep was boring. No real like cannabis effect at all, whereas the hairy prep gave me the full cannabis experience. It's not all about THC. I believe that the terpenes are involved in the euphoria. THC definitely involved in pain relief, anti-tremor relief, but not involved in the cannabis experience as we know it. If you get what I mean.
Moved you along.
I like this picture. I clipped it off Google Images. I don't know why I don't get copyright infringement for this sort of thing. I mean, this is the day of the internet.
Yeah.
The areas of
Anyway, this is what Doug looked like when I first met him. And I now call him the line dancing cowboy from 108 Mile House. I have a slide picture which I was unable to extract into this format, but it's him clicking his heels in front of a club, 2 feet in the air. This guy's quite amazing. But anyway, like I said, these are the causes of chronic pain that we see as a society. Excellent. And I went on about why focus on pain, and I started to tell you about the guy I did my doctorate under who said always look for big effects. You'll waste your life on small ones. And cannabis, where did that bud come from? It came from Google Images, but I have no idea how big that thing is.
And the door frame around it, it looks about 8.5 feet. Maybe, that'd be nice.
when I'm cooking this cabinet here.
Anyway, because of its efficacy with chronic pain, and Health Canada's prioritizing it, and because medical doctors are becoming aware that cannabis is useful for chronic pain, we actually have them writing little prescription notes to our club. I used to photocopy